Imagine a dusty road in the middle of nowhere, where a billionaire's luxury motorcycle breaks down, leaving him stranded. But what happens next is nothing short of extraordinary. A 14-year-old boy, working tirelessly in his late father's humble garage, steps in with skills and confidence that defy his age. What unfolds is a story of resilience, unexpected connections, and life-changing opportunities that will leave you inspired. Stay with us to see how one chance encounter transforms not just lives, but an entire community. You won't want to miss this. The sun hung low in the Georgia sky, casting long shadows over the cracked asphalt as James Carter's luxury motorcycle sputtered to a stop. For a man who had built an empire on innovation, the irony wasn't lost on him. Here he was, stranded in the middle of nowhere, his state-of-the-art machine rendered useless. Frustration bubbled up, but it was quickly replaced by a quiet resolve. Life has a funny way of throwing curveballs, doesn't it? He pushed his bike along the desolate road, his sharp suit now speckled with dust, until a faded sign caught his eye. Repairs all problems solved. It pointed toward a weathered garage barely visible through the trees. Sometimes solutions come from the most unexpected places. Inside the humble garage, James found himself face to face with Elijah, a weary 14-year-old whose hands moved with the precision of someone far beyond his years. The boy exuded a quiet confidence as he examined the bike, his grease-streaked shirt and calloused hands telling stories of dedication and hard work. James couldn't help but be intrigued. How could someone so young carry himself with such poise? Elijah's voice broke through James' thoughts. "Looks like it's the valve. I can fix it." There was no hesitation, no doubt, just certainty. And isn't that what we all crave when life throws us off course? Someone who knows exactly what they're doing. As Elijah got to work, James watched in awe. The boy's skill was undeniable, but it was his demeanor that struck a chord. Here was someone who didn't just fix machines. He seemed to breathe life back into them. James realized that this encounter wasn't just about repairing a bike, it was about witnessing resilience in its purest form. Sometimes, life places people in our path to remind us of what truly matters: grit, passion, and the ability to keep moving forward, no matter how rough the road gets. The garage wasn't just a place for Elijah to tinker with engines, it was the heart of his family's survival. Each morning, before the sun had fully risen, the boy would wipe the grease from his hands and prepare his sister, Maya, for school. At just 9 years old, she was a bundle of curiosity and energy, always asking questions about the tools scattered around the garage. Elijah would smile at her, his voice steady as he explained what each one did. But behind that smile was a boy shouldering responsibilities far beyond his years. Life has a way of demanding more from some than others, and Elijah had learned early on that he had no choice but to rise to the occasion. His mother, Carmen, worked tirelessly at the local diner, pulling double shifts just to keep food on the table. Her hands were calloused not from machines, but from endless hours of scrubbing dishes and serving customers. She always came home with a weary smile, the one that masked her exhaustion, but radiated pride in her children. Elijah admired her strength, but often found himself wishing she didn't have to work so hard. He knew that every bolt he tightened and every engine he fixed was another small step toward easing her burden. In many ways, the garage wasn't just a business. It was a legacy left by his father and a lifeline for their family. Elijah's father had built the garage with his own hands, pouring his heart into every nail and beam. After his passing, it became more than just a building. It was a symbol of resilience and love. Elijah felt that every time he turned a wrench or wiped oil from his face. But it wasn't easy. The weight of keeping the garage running while ensuring Maya had everything she needed often felt overwhelming. Yet, In those quiet moments when he saw Maya laughing or caught his mother humming softly in the kitchen, Elijah knew why he kept going. Life may not have been fair, but it gave him something worth fighting for, a family that depended on him, and a legacy he refused to let fade away. James Carter left the garage with more than just a repaired motorcycle. He left with a sense of purpose he hadn't felt in years. As he rode back to the city, Elijah's story played over and over in his mind. The boy's resilience, his quiet determination, and the weight of his responsibilities struck a chord deep within James. Life, James thought, has a way of humbling even the wealthiest and most powerful. Here he was, a billionaire surrounded by luxury, yet it was a 14-year-old boy in a dusty garage who reminded him of what truly mattered: grit, family, and the power of community. That evening, James sat down at his desk, his phone glowing in the dim light of his study. He typed out a post for his millions of followers, detailing his encounter with Elijah. "Today, I met someone extraordinary," he began. He described the young mechanic's skill and the immense responsibility he carried for his family. But James didn't stop at admiration. He issued a call to action. This boy deserves more than just praise. He deserves opportunity. Let's show him what the power of community can do. With that, he hit post, not knowing just how far-reaching the response would be. Within hours, the post went viral. Comments poured in, some from people offering tools and mentorship, others pledging financial support. James' inbox filled with messages from individuals and organizations eager to help Elijah and his family. It was as if Elijah's story had unlocked something in people, a reminder that even in a world dominated by technology and wealth, stories of human resilience still had the power to unite us. For James, this wasn't just about helping one boy. It was about reigniting a belief in collective kindness and action. And as the offers of support grew, so did James' determination to ensure Elijah's life would never be the same again. The garage became a beacon of hope, its transformation mirroring the resilience of the boy who kept it alive. Trucks began arriving daily, carrying shiny new tools and supplies that Elijah could only dream of before. The once peeling walls now gleamed with fresh paint, and a local artist had painted a mural that captured the spirit of the place, a motorcycle engine intertwined with the words, "Where hearts and machines are fixed." It wasn't just a garage anymore. It was a symbol of what people can achieve when they come together. Life has a way of surprising us like that. Just when you think you're alone, you realize how many hands are willing to lift you up. The community didn't just stop at donations, they showed up in person. Mechanics from neighboring towns came to offer tips and mentorship, their weathered hands guiding Elijah through techniques he'd never seen before. Families brought home cooked meals, their laughter filling the once quiet space. Even Maya found herself swept up in the excitement, her drawings of cars and engines now proudly displayed on the walls. Elijah's mother, Carmen, finally had time to sit down for dinner with her children without worrying about her next shift. It was as if the weight they had all carried for so long had been shared among many shoulders. But with every act of kindness came a lesson. Elijah learned that pride doesn't mean refusing help, it means honoring the love and effort others pour into you. The garage wasn't just his father's legacy anymore. It was a collective dream built by everyone who believed in him. And isn't that what life is about? Finding strength not just in yourself, but in the people who rally around you. As Elijah tightened bolts and wiped grease from his hands, he realized he wasn't just fixing machines, he was building bridges between his past and an extraordinary future. The day the letter arrived, Elijah sat at the kitchen table, staring at the envelope as if it were a puzzle he didn't know how to solve. It was addressed to him, the words, "Full Scholarship Award," printed boldly on the front. His mother, Carmen, stood behind him, her hand resting gently on his shoulder. Maya peeked over the edge of the table, her wide eyes filled with curiosity. Elijah's hands trembled slightly as he opened it, revealing an opportunity that seemed too good to be true, a chance to attend a prestigious trade school in California. For a moment, he felt a surge of excitement, but it was quickly tempered by doubt. Could he really leave his family behind? Life has a way of offering doors to walk through, but stepping over the threshold is never easy. That evening, Elijah sat outside the garage, watching the stars blink into view. The weight of the decision pressed heavily on him. He thought about his father's legacy and all the nights he had spent keeping this place alive. But now there was a chance to learn more, to grow into someone who could take their family's story even further. It wasn't just about him, it was about honoring his father's dream and building something better for his mother and Maya. Still, the thought of leaving them behind filled him with guilt. How do you choose between duty and opportunity? It's a question so many face in life, and yet there's no easy answer. When James called that night, Elijah shared his fears. What if something happens while I'm gone? What if they need me? He asked quietly. James listened patiently before responding with a wisdom that seemed to cut through Elijah's doubts. Sometimes stepping away is the best way to step up, James said. You're not abandoning them, you're preparing yourself to come back stronger. Think of it as an investment in your family's future. Those words echoed in Elijah's mind long after the call ended. As he looked back at the garage, its walls now vibrant with new life, he began to imagine what it could become if he took this leap of faith. Elijah stood in the garage one last time before his departure, the familiar scent of motor oil and grease filling the air. The place had changed so much, yet it still felt like home. The walls, once worn and faded, now gleamed with vibrant colors, and the tools he had once struggled to maintain were now state-of-the-art. But more than the physical transformation, it was the energy in the room that felt different. This wasn't just a garage anymore, it was a testament to what resilience and community could achieve. Elijah ran his hand over the workbench, feeling both pride and a pang of sadness. Leaving wasn't easy, but sometimes growth requires stepping away from what you know. As he packed his few belongings, Elijah couldn't help but reflect on how far he'd come. Just months ago, he had been a boy trying to keep his family afloat, fixing machines with outdated tools and sheer determination. Now, thanks to James Carter's belief in him and the overwhelming support of strangers, he was about to embark on a journey he never thought possible. The scholarship to the prestigious trade school in California was more than just an opportunity, it was a lifeline. It was a chance to honor his father's legacy while building a future that could lift his family out of hardship. And isn't that what life is about? Taking what you've been given and turning it into something greater. Before leaving, Elijah paused outside the garage, taking one last look at the mural that now adorned its walls, a motorcycle engine entwined with the words, "Where hearts and machines are fixed." It felt fitting, almost poetic. This garage had been more than just a workplace. It had been a sanctuary, a symbol of hope in tough times. As he turned toward the car waiting to take him to the airport, Elijah felt something new, determination mixed with excitement. He wasn't just leaving. He was preparing to return stronger, wiser, and ready to elevate everything his father had built into something extraordinary. Elijah's story is a powerful reminder that life's challenges often pave the way for growth and transformation. From a dusty garage to a world of new opportunities, his journey shows how resilience, community, and belief in one's potential can change everything. It's not just about fixing what's broken, it's about building something better. What about you? What possibilities are waiting for you to take that first step? Subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and let's keep exploring stories that inspire change and action.